Welcome to Z's and Threes.
For three for the win, yes!
I am so tired of all the postulating. We have to listen to this for another month. This team is for real. No, they're actually pretenders. Blah, blah, blah. We've gotten to that point. I know everyone is ready for the playoffs, ready for the games to truly matter, so these narratives can be settled. But we still have plenty left to play for, so we dutifully trudge on, especially here at Z's and Threes. 9 games to recap, including the Vegas betting odds favorite final matchup, that one in Boston, and also one of the best games played in the NBA this season on the other side of the country. The 2-seed West race. Hot potato bouncing back and forth, and someone crazy enough to test Steven Adams. All of that tonight. Before we tip, please do like and subscribe. If you're listening on pod, give us 5 stars, share with a friend. Let's get it. Group chat game of the night. This is who Vegas likes to be in the NBA Finals. Who do you think will be in the NBA Finals? Let me know in the comments down below. Oklahoma City Thunder, best record in the West, and the Boston Celtics, the defending champs. Remember, in this one, no J-Dub, the all-star for the Thunder, a hip injury. Jason Tatum, though, did go for the Celtics. Still no Kristaps Porzingis with his mystery illness. First quarter, Boston, 24 field goal attempts. 22 of those were from 3. They made 9 of them. That was the story of this game. At half, 36 of their 48 attempts were from 3. It was a new NBA record for 3-point attempts in a half. The previous record was held by the Houston Rockets, James Harden, Houston Rockets, with 35. The Thunder had a 63-60 halftime lead in spite of 9 less made threes. Chet Holmgren's 14 points, 8 rebounds, a big reason why. Thunder lead, it grows to 12 in the third, but an 18-6 run, part of an 11-point third quarter for Jason Tatum, had the score 88 apiece, hitting the fourth. The Celtics in that quarter, they acknowledged the ability to shoot closer to the basket. They had 16 points in the paint. The difference in the fourth, when I was watching the game, it was Oklahoma City forcing the issue. They got into the bonus with 6:48 left. Boston was content to go back to their jump shooting ways. It was an SGA pull-up jumper from the free throw line that sealed it, putting his team up 10 with 61 seconds left. 118-112, Oklahoma City gets an emphatic, important statement win. The Thunder hold the Celtics to just 39% shooting in the fourth, 3 of 14 from 3. They only made 7 field goals themselves, the Thunder, but they go 3 of 18 from the free throw line. Get rid of the bonus, please. I was thinking on this. If you've listened to, watch the show, you know how much I hate the bonus. There are 12 minutes in an NBA quarter. Why not move the bonus to at least 6? So then you're talking about essentially a foul per minute around that with a 24-second shot clock. But I hate the bonus. I am not a fan at all. Chicago Bulls are last in the league in free throw attempts per game. They shoot 19.3. The Thunder shot 18. And this is not rallying against the Thunder. There's so much conversation about free throw shooting, specifically Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Thunder shoot the third to least amount of free throws across all 30 NBA teams. Now, SGA shoots the most free throws behind Giannis last time I checked. So, like I said, do with that what you will. The Celtics, they tied an NBA record for the most 3-pointers attempted in a game. 63. Is that winning basketball? Well, tonight it wasn't. I'm not going to put that game up there as a great game. It was a close game, but not one that you were like, man, you missed an all-timer. The one that happened in Portland, Oregon, well, that was a great game. It was the final game finishing of the night, Knicks Blazers. Knicks on that West Coast, Western Conference road swing. They're currently just floating in the 3 seed. They are not within striking distance of Boston, unless Boston were to lose a ton of games and the Knicks were really to go on a heater, and they have comfortable cushion over that Milwaukee, Indy, Detroit trailing trio. Mikal Bridges, remember the name because he was huge in this game, advocating to the media for his boss to lighten his workload. Thibs, his head coach, clapping back with numbers saying that Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns are in the 20s amongst players in terms of average minutes, not averaging 20 minutes, but in the 20s. Wings, Thibs' case was, of which Bridges is one, a wing player, are more matched up against the primary scorers. That's why they play more minutes. But Mikal Bridges saying, go deeper into the bench. We don't need to play 40 minutes. Well, they had to play a lot of minutes tonight, and that's because it was a great game. The Blazers, they're the biggest mid-season turnaround story in the league. At one point, they looked Wizards bad. Shaq, though, I know Shaq appreciates the job Chauncey has done in turning around the Detroit Pistons. Wait, yeah, go look it up. Okay, hell of a game. As mentioned, one of the best in the NBA this season. 14 ties and 42 lead changes. That is the most for any game played this season. How'd it go down? Let's go to clutch time. Back-to-back Karl Anthony Towns made threes with a $158 and a $117 left. Gave the Knicks a 6-point cushion. Scoot Henderson, who's been showing some work lately for the former number 3 pick, who has a signature shoe with Puma, has been left all for dead at some point by some people, but he's been showing out. He finished in the paint and one to make it 106-104 New York with 40.5 left. The Knicks go empty after a clock error in which the shot clock reset it shouldn't have, so the Blazers have a chance to tie or go ahead. Henderson gets fouled, chance to tie at the line. Coolly nails both, 106 all. Nothing I appreciate more than cool free throw shooting. Knicks, no timeouts, 3.4 seconds left. Miles McBride gets a 38-foot heave for the win. Grazes net, overtime we go. The Knicks, they have been in the most overtime games in the NBA this year, a 5-1 record. Could they make it 6-1? Well, it was 111-110, and Knicks lead after a Blazers miss that goes out of bounds. So Knicks ball, Josh Hart inbounding, who used to play for the Blazers, mind you. He moves along the baseline in doing such, which, given that it wasn't off a made bucket, he could not do. Turnover. Another chance for the Blazers. Ball gets inbounded to Danny Advia, who on his first attempt gets blocked by Robinson, gets the rebound, finishes through the contact foul of Hart, and won. 113-111 Blazers. 3.4 seconds left again. Knicks, though, do have a timeout. They call it. They advance it. Mikal Bridges, all that talk about all those minutes, gets a chance to win the game. Top of the key. 3 is wet as Portland water. Ball game, Knicks. What a game. One of the best of the season. 33 in the game winner from Bridges. 23 from OG Anunoby, 11, 11, and 9 from Josh Hart, all of which play over 40 minutes. No moral victories for the Blazers, but Scoot Henderson, 30 points, in the effort. What a game it was. Battle for the 2 seed in the Western Conference behind Oklahoma City. Your guess is as good as mine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's it going to be? 3 of the 4 teams vying for that second spot were in action tonight. Start in Denver, the Nuggets hosting the Timberwolves. First half story, Nikola Jokic, Russell Westbrook combined for 17 of 25 from the field. That's good. The rest of the Nuggets, 3 of 22. That is bad. The Wolves hold a 57-48 lead at the break, and that grows to 26 later in the third. Into the fourth, the Nuggets wave the white flag. 115-95 it finishes after putting up 140 on Oklahoma City, the best defense in the league. Minnesota defensively holds Denver under 100 points. 29, 4, and 6 from Anthony Edwards, 25 from Julius Randle. The Wolves take the season series. There's one left to play, but Minnesota continues to have Denver's number. They have won all 3 regular season meetings. Utah-Memphis. Game would go into clutch time, 114-113. Grizzlies with under 2 minutes left. Off a Ja Morant miss, Colin Sexton hits a banker that puts the Jazz up 1. Luke Kennard, who had a career night, 30 points. 3 of those were spinning in a 3 that tied his career best. Jazz go empty, and Ja Morant seals it with another 3 at the end of the shot clock for a 122-115 Memphis victory. Phoenix, Houston. This one, got a little scrappy. I told you top of the show who would test Steven Adams, commonly referred to as one of the tougher and stronger players in the league. Well, Mason Plumlee wanted a piece. They got into a grappling wrestling match that sent both to the floor and sent both to the locker room, ending their nights early. Game was back and forth in the first half. There were 8 lead changes, 3 ties, but the Rockets would build up a 17-point lead in the middle of the fourth, which was enough to hang on to a 111-104 victory. Game high, 29 from Jalen Wingstop Commercial Green, 15 and 10 from Tari Eason, and 24 and 7 from Alperen Şengün. Talk about the play-in posse, teams vying for play-in positioning. Dallas, San Antonio with yet another Suns loss. The Mavs still not feeling any pressure for that 10th and final play-in spot. Mavs just trying to get healthy. It's a good thing as they dropped their second meeting in 2 games against the Spurs. They won the first one, lose this one, 126-116. It was a 32-9-11 effort from De'Aaron Fox. Charlotte, Atlanta. It was a monster game from Trae Young. And I can see why the boy balls after taking the Jordan 39s for a spin today. Those the shoes that Trae Young plays in, and one of the shoes next in our signature sneaker showdown. Episode number 2, matchup number 2. If you haven't watched episode 1 yet, the LaMelo Balls taking on the James Hardens. LaMelo Ball playing in them tonight. He didn't play in the Ninja Turtles, but his LaMelo Balls. That was episode 1. The Jordan 39s will be in episode 2, dropping Friday. It was 35.7 rebounds, 12 assists on an absurdly unethical crime against the sport of basketball, 21 free throws for Young. To his credit, he did make them all. Perfect 21 for 21. Hornets shot 18 as a team. 123-110, Hawks W. Clippers, Heat. Clippers looking to get right after their loss to the Pelicans. Heat looking to get right on a 4-game slide. LA leads for all but the opening bucket of the game. They win the contest 119-104. 24-8-11 from James Harden. 30-10-4 from Bogdan Bogdanović. Sneaky good pickup for the Clips at the deadline. I don't know what to make of the Clippers yet. Kawhi didn't play in the game tonight. Ivica Zubac had 26 and 14. A lot of boxing out from Zubac, where he's cleaning the glass. Tyler Hero had a game high 31. Lottery land to close out the slate for the evening. Sixers, Raptors. Quentin Grimes continues to validate Mavericks GM Nico Harrison's ability. Whew. Game high 29 for him, but enough to best the Raptors? No, it was not. Toronto takes it 118-105. AJ Lawson, G League product, Toronto product, continues to ball 28-6-4, help guiding his team to a victory. How does all of that affect the standings? We start in the Western Conference. The Thunder victory clinches their spot in the playoffs. They can lose out if they like. The Nuggets loss and the Grizzlies win places Memphis back into the 2 by virtue of the dumbest tiebreak rule ever. Division leader when the head-to-head is even. So both teams with the same record. Those 2 meet in the second-to-last game of the regular season. It's going to be great between Memphis, Denver, the LA Lakers, and the Houston Rockets because those 4 teams meet a ton down the stretch. Rockets, they are now on a 4-game win streak. They are a full game behind both those teams, Denver and Memphis, but just a half game behind the Lakers for 4th. Remember, the Lakers trying to get through this stretch without LeBron James. Thursday night, playing the Bucks in Milwaukee. Friday night, Denver in Denver. The Wolves, they got their 6th win in a row, the longest win streak currently in the West. It has them 0.002 percentage points behind the Warriors for the 6th spot. The 6 is important because that is the last guaranteed entrant to the playoffs. 7 through 10, you have to play your way in. In that band, the Clippers win keeps them 1.5 behind the Wolves, 2 ahead of the Kings. The Mavs and the Suns losses keep them 2.5 apart. The Atlanta Hawks winning gives them plenty of breathing room. 7-8 matchup over the Orlando Magic in the East. Heavy Pour leading scorer of the night, presented by Portland Water. Visit them at pdxwater.com. The heavy pour coming from Trae Young. His 35 points courtesy of his unethical 21 free throws made. Dunk of the night. If you want to sponsor it, holler at your boy. The info's down below. Moussa Diabate. He reached up to like 12 feet with the flush. Performance of the night. I'm going to go a little B-side for this one. Chet Holmgren. 23 points, 15 rebounds. No J-Dub. Chet has to be that guy. I even think with J-Dub, it's games like this from Holmgren that make the Thunder a true dangerous playoff team. I know that they're dangerous, but a true title contender, you have to have at least three guys that can go out there and get it night in, night out. So between SGA, J-Dub, and then Chet Holmgren. An incredibly divisive team right now due to their youth and lack of experience. That is the narrative around the Thunder in spite of all of their regular season wins. Chet playing like their second best guy, well, that makes a pretty good case for the Thunder to go a long way. Light news day, the Jazz, well, they will be paying a fine to the league for not playing a player. $100,000 for violation of the player participation policy. Lauri Markkanen, who did suit up in the game tonight against the Grizzlies, he is classified as a quote-unquote star player due to the fact that he made an all-star team in 2023. They failed to make him, the Jazz, available on March 5th against the Wizards. If they were to have an additional violation, the fine would be $250K. Be careful how you tank. House shoes, and I am rocking the Jordan 39s. This, folks, is a awesome basketball shoe. As mentioned, I took it out for a spin today. It will be one of the shoes in the next episode of the Signature Sneaker Showdown. If you want to know who the Jordans are facing off against, well, the bracket is revealed in episode 1. Go back and check it out. Today, after I went out and balled, shot around, I read an article, and it was 22 reasons to fear the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, it has come to that. They've given the Thunder 54 reasons why you should fear or respect them as a force in the league. But they've also given 12 reasons as to why not. This is the dialogue that we are now forced to engage in, having to artificially build up or tear teams down. I know we all have opinions on teams. Some are better informed than others, and some have louder and bigger platforms than others. But ultimately, they're just that. They're opinions. That is the beauty of sport. I can tell you something is true or not until I am blue in the face, no longer with any air to say it again. But if it definitively turns out to be right or wrong, I am either right or wrong and justified. You can make all the excuses that you want, and there are plenty to be made. But sport provides black and white clarity in a color kaleidoscope of the world. Even if it is just for a day or maybe even for that season, because the wheel always keeps on turning. Look no further than tonight, the Boston Celtics. You become champions, you climb to the top of the mountain, well, that rock rolls right back down, and the champs have the expectation of defending. And everybody else wants what they want. Some teams that have done it before, the Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors. Some that never have, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the New York Knicks, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And so on we turn, on the wheel, pushing the rock up the hill. What to watch come Thursday night? Well, there are 5 games in the National Basketball Association. Lakers, Bucks. Still no LeBron. Reported he's back in LA trying to get healthy. Rich Paul saying this about LeBron, and this is being reported by Shams. Whatever. Both teams coming off losses. What will Bucks, Lakers have? Kings, Warriors. Northern California rivals fighting for playoff positioning, playing status for the Kings. Always fun when these two get together. Jonathan Kuminga back on the court for the Warriors. Signature Sneaker Showdown, Episode 2, coming on Friday. You do not want to miss this one. It is good. Go back and check out episode number 1. If you miss anything, as always, Z's and Threes, we got you. If you like the show, please do like, subscribe, share with a friend. We will see you back here tomorrow. Peace.